This phase is the most crucial in order to have a successful outcome. As Albert Einstein said, "If I were given 1 hour to save the planet, I would spend 59 minutes defining the problem and 1 minute resolving it." It means that without addressing the problem correctly, we can spend a lot of resources that will eventually lead us to a non-effective solution. Now that we know that we have a problem, it is time to give it a shape and a context. Starting from the symptoms, we have to define the root causes, the needs of the stakeholders, and the interaction processes between them. It is very important to define thoroughly the context and the interaction that rules it. In order to do that, it can be very useful to follow the go and see yourself method, if there isn't any member of the team involved in first person in the given process. In this phase, we also have to define the main problems, their related sub-problems, and how they interact with each other. To do so, it is very important to avoid biases, preconception, and predetermined outcomes. Voila. An example I can bring to you about finding the right root cause is the following one. In a ward, a patient is reported of falling off from the side of the bed. Further investigation told us that the patient fell from his upper body while he was seated on the bed. So the risk manager asked to raise the side rails. As you can see, the bed which the patient was using was the one on the right, with one piece single handrail, with a single handrail that wasn't covering the upper body while the patient was seated. So instead, to modify a medical device, which is a very painful procedure, the real solution was to adopt a bed with double side rail divided by the upper and lower body, so that the upper body one will follow the patient while he is seated. Now we can start to think about and propose some solutions. They have to be aimed at the root causes. In this moment, it is very important that every stakeholder can elaborate his own solution from his own point of view. That is the only way to get the whole picture. In the same perspective, it is crucial to assess the consequences that each solution can have on the other stakeholders' everyday workflow. Once you have collected all the possible solutions, you have to evaluate them, understanding pros and cons, the impact on all the stakeholders, and how to implement them in the actual context. There isn't only one suitable solution, but most likely it will be a blend between some of the proposed ones. The right implementation strategy aims to decline the chosen solution to the actual context, blending it with the pre-existing activities. It shouldn't be disruptive, and the workers have to be aware of the whole picture, avoiding opposition and discontents. The implementation strategy has to be thought of and tailored to every stakeholder, having in mind the consequences on their duties and daily activities. In the last part of the problem-solving methodology, we check that all the root causes and pains of the stakeholders are solved. In order to be able to measure the outcomes, we have to design and define some Key Performance Index or KPIs. KPIs will allow us to make some small changes and/or improvements on our final solution in order to get to the desired result. Can happen that after the implementation, some new sub-problems will arise, and this is the right time to address them.